Hello, molo, sawubona, kunjani, namaste, dumelang, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There are so many ways to say hello in South Africa. Our country is so beautiful in its diversity. And we are also so beautifully diverse in our handshakes. Pra! Have you seen this? When oaks put their hands out for a shake, sometimes it's like, no, bruh, it's amaga. Hey, bring it in for a hug. To be safe, to avoid embarrassment. You don't know what to do. It used to be simple. Either like a high five, or if you're really pumped, bruh, like a bro, a high 10. Even then, it was always the danger. You'd just be like left hanging. Okay. Back then, I take my chances, but like today, bro, it's a lottery. It's a lottery. Anyway, while we liquor diverse in our greetings and our handshakes, we're not liquor diverse in our wealth distribution. And we've been named one of the most unequal countries in the world. Yes, sis, man. Millions of our citizens live below the poverty line and are reliant on state grants to get by, just to get by. And even those state grants haven't been reliable, with SASSA being actually infected by state capture. Yes, they've even got their hands on the pension money for the elderly. Phew. Okay, it's okay. It's going to be fine, guys. It's going to be fine. In light of so much inequality and poverty in our country, today we look at radical economic transformation. Something our country desperately needs. We need this. Radical economic transformation. Radical economic transformation. Sounds good in theory. But it seems, as usual, the political elite have hijacked it and are using it as a smokescreen to further their own economic transformation, i.e., namely, to remain rich and powerful, and for some of them to stay out of a jail, to stay out of prison. So let's dive into the murky waters of RET and separate the fact from the fiction, the truth from the lies, and expose the underbelly of it all. Look, there's no denying that apartheid left a huge racial and economic divide in our society. And post-apartheid legislation, like Black Economic Empowerment, or BEE, it was implemented to address that inequality and the previous lack of access by people of color to economic opportunities. BEE, in theory, was a good thing. Sadly, it too has been abused by the political elite and their cadres to only empower themselves, not you, themselves. And so the everyday person has been largely excluded, sorry for you, excluded from this economic banquet. Another solution to economic upliftment has been in the continual land repatriation program outlined in our constitution, to return land to the people with apartheid government stole it from. Right? Again, very good in theory. But in practice, brah. The implementation of this by the government has been less than ideal. It's been less than ideal. The idea of land expropriation without compensation has been controversial and also marred by corrupt politicians who use it as divisive rhetoric instead of actually redressing the past in practical ways through robust policy. So thus far, radical economic transformation has turned out to only be rad for politicians who have used it for their own personal economic transformation, but not very rad for anybody else. Players within the ANC now call the Red faction or the RET faction, or those not invited to Cyril's Pala Pala farm for Christmas. Now they use it to exploit the rage of the poor without actually creating any tangible economic upliftment at all. They talk about how to divide up the economy, but not how to grow our economy. There's no substance. It's like a Full House Gatsby, right? But without the specially prepared masala steak, the 3 eggs, the 4 slices of cheese, the chips. It's not a Full House Gatsby, it's hollow bread. There's no substance. Radical economic transformation and land repatriation without compensation are volatile catchphrases in reality. And ex-President Zuma, he still throws it around whenever he wants to detract attention from his criminal activities or jail sentencing. It's a good thing, but it's a distraction. It's like, look, RET, R-E-T. I thought I saw something. In fact, Zuma has been using the radical economic transformation trope since 2015, I think. Yeah. When he hired a PR firm out of London, remember that? Called Bell Pottinger. I mean, can you get more British than that? Than Bell Pottinger. I say, hey, Bell Pottinger. Hey. The very people JZ calls colonialists, he called on to create a distraction campaign that blamed all the inequality in our country firmly at the feet of certain white business people. Like Bell Pottinger had a brainstorm, right? Or should I say blamestorm, to come up with a term that could actually sow discord in South Africa and stir up racial hatred, deflecting attention from the Zuptas and the state capture. And imagine these Poms sitting around the London boardroom table. Okay, chaps, I say chaps. Remember, let's go. Blame storm, there are no bad ideas. Okay. How about white snakes and ladders capital? Jeffrey, I'm very disappointed in you. That's horrible. What about a white monopoly capital? Aha! Hurrah! I think we have a winner. Ha ha! White monopoly capital it is. Unfortunately, Bell Pottinger helped create this zinger, radical economic transformation too. It's become a catchphrase, it's catch-all for we stand for the poor. Other RET politicians like Carl Niehaus and Diwe Sisulu, who's been a member of parliament since 1994, both self-righteously condemn the inequality and abject poverty in our country, but neither of them has been involved in creating any radical economic transformation for the poor, in spite of their continuous ramblings against our constitution and our judiciary. So, in closing, people, it sounds like radical economic transformation is actually racial populism, I think, posing as camaraderie and empathy with the working class and the poor. Indeed, it seems that the only people who would actually benefit from RET would be the very people peddling it. There's no doubt we do need radical change. That is undoubted. We need radical change so that everyone can live a life of dignity and prosperity in South Africa. And we, the people, can be the ones to bring about that transformation. How? I hear you ask. How, Riyadh? It's time we get involved, guys. Get involved in your community. Perhaps reach out to other communities to find out how you can help them. It's all about active citizenry. Leave us with your comments, please. We'd love to hear what you think. And before you go, visit the links to see which amazing organizations are really helping the poor in our country. There are a lot of them. Check below. I am Dr. Riyadh Musa. I will see you next time.